This will work for now. All right, good morning, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited about our episode today. One of my very best friends is going to be joining us, Justin Michael Williams. He's an incredible human, just all around. Great musician, author, meditation expert, teacher, yogi, just an incredible, magical being. So he's going to be on at about 9:30. He's going to lead us through a meditation process. I won't give away what he's going to be sharing, but it will be something that you can find in his book, which you'll have to flip this around. I know this mirrors us, but his book is called Stay Woke, A Meditation Guide for the Rest of Us. New York Times bestseller, amazing. This came out just a few months ago. Is it February, March? Yeah, incredible resource for those of you wanting to either develop a deeper meditation practice or just get some useful practical tips for enhancing your current practice as it is. So in light of what we will be doing later and what's on my mind, I posted on the Instagram story today some topics for reflection, dealing with the subject of grounding. I keep hearing this come up, this idea of being grounded, obviously before this pandemic, but certainly our lives, our lifestyles as they currently are for a lot of us, I'll include myself in this, has suddenly kind of grounded us both in one location in our homes, and in my case has also been quite ungrounding in terms of my ability to connect with nature and quite literally like the ground, the earth. I don't have a yard or space here on my property where I can like take my shoes off and play around in the earth, and they've closed a lot of the parks and trails in LA. So I quite literally am feeling like ungrounded just physically. I have different techniques and things that I do to help mitigate that. But as well, kind of in the more energetic sense, with a lot of information being processed, a lot of time spent on our phones, on technology, and just engaging in conversation around what's going on and our kind of fundamental aspects and needs around survival can be very ungrounding. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, to share a little bit about that, and also just to offer you guys some time to consider, what is it that, or I guess I'll reference what I wrote in the story, which is, when I feel grounded, like it feels fill in the blank. Like, what does it feel like to feel grounded? And conversely, what does it feel like to be ungrounded? When I'm ungrounded, I feel like, what is that for you? I know for myself, a lot of what I can do that helps to ground me is just to, as simple as it might seem, just to say those words: stability, grounded, confident, secure, stable. And I use those words, those potent words, as almost like mantras that I can repeat to myself throughout the day and install in my nervous system, so that I can kind of take a more proactive stance at maintaining my composure and my stability. So what we'll do with Justin later on today, later on in the session, will help to facilitate that further for you. I've taken to pulling a card or two every morning now from this deck. It's my new favorite deck. It's the Animal Spirit Guidebook. And I did this yesterday. This morning I was just shuffling just a few minutes ago, actually, before we started, and just asking the question, like, any messages, anything that I and my friends would benefit from hearing today. And one card flipped out, and then I was like putting it back in the deck, and I realized another card had flipped over at some point during that. So I'm not sure if my mom is on the live stream, but if she is, one of the cards that flipped out, it's her like least favorite animal, was the tarantula. And the other, I think it's one of her favorite animals, so shout out to Mom, was the dragonfly. So I'm going to read you about the dragonfly first. So it says, the dragonfly is the master of light, illusion, and the mind. Dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. It says when in balance or when grounded, the dragonfly sees clearly, is joyful and magical. When out of balance, the dragonfly can't concentrate and has a busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. And then I'll read about the tarantula. So the tarantula represents crossroads. You can see many different paths here in all its limbs, and a claiming of life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision is to be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose, or dharma. A habit or routine from the past may be sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, tarantula energy follows intuition. When out of balance, there's hesitation and over-intellectualizes. To bring into balance, daily journaling. All right, so that's what we got here from the cards. And this word dharma comes up quite a bit, at least with the tarantula. And dharma is a word, often it's related to the word purpose, or sort of our destiny, okay, or our life's mission. The word dharma in Sanskrit actually comes from the verbal root dur, D-H-R, which implies a sort of boundary, or the ability to make something firm or stable. So quite literally, to ground something. Interestingly, dur, or the verbal root dur, doesn't just mean to ground or stabilize, but it also can mean to nourish and to sustain. So in order for something to be sustainable, in order for something to be healthy, it often has to have clear boundaries. And so, we talked a few sessions ago, I think last week, about this idea of building your house, building your home on rock versus on sand. And the more we have our sort of foundations built on steady ground, the more we can not just find our dharma, but we can put into practice our dharma. So dharma isn't just discovering your purpose. Dharma is everything that you do that helps to stabilize you in your purpose. Okay, and you might even suggest that the process of stabilizing yourself is your dharma. So to that extent, all of us this morning, hi Serena, all of us, by engaging in these practices, breath work, meditation, journaling, movement, community, are doing the work to not just establish, but to sustain and to nourish our dharma. So shout out to you all for joining. We're going to launch right into some of our more movement-based practices. We'll do a little bit of breath work standing, and then when Justin comes on in about 20 minutes or so, he's going to lead us through a seated meditation. So we'll flip the order of our session just a little bit today. I'm going to do my best to find the perfect camera angle for you. And I'll invite you to stand up. This here. You're most welcome. And we've done seated quite a bit in these sessions. The practice of what's called Ujjayi Pranayama or Samavritti, which is this even inhale, exhale. We're going to do that today, and we're also going to do Kapalbhati, which is the breath of fire. We're going to do it standing and add some arm gestures to this, which can just further help kind of bring our mind into the flow of the breath, my mind-body breath. So bring yourself into a comfortable standing position, right? So legs can be about hips width apart or wider. Your arms are going to start down by your sides. Bend your knees a little bit. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, push your feet into the floor and stand up tall. So as you inhale, you can kind of soften, let your knees bend a little. And as you exhale, push down to go up. You're going to add your arms. As you inhale, let your arms rise, bend your knees. And like you're pressing your hands through water, exhale, push down, and stand up. So you can breathe out through your nose or mouth. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, press down. Stand tall. Let's do 3 more. Big breath in. Exhale. Try to slow your inhale. One more time, inhale. You're gathering up the energy and then press it down to rebound tall. Let your arms hang by your sides. Now for our Kapalabhati, we're going to do about 50 pumps. And we're going to do this with our arms overhead. You can imagine that you're like grabbing onto something, make fists. And when you exhale, you're going to pull down with your arms like you're doing a fast pull-up. And you can think about like gathering energy, okay, and pulling that energy towards you. Okay? And much like a pull-up, as you were to pull down, it would also have the effect of you going up. Okay, so with the first practice, we're using a push off of our feet to go up. With this one, we're using a pull from our arms to create this upward trajectory. So we might call this more of a compressive or ground reaction, this more of a sort of tensile rebound or pulling. All right, so arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale fully. Now inhale halfway through your nose. Promise not to laugh at me. And begin. Last 10. Big breath in, reach your arms up. Exhale, press it down, stand tall. Let your arms hang. Okay. Let's take a moment, feel the energy that produces, cultivates, and gathers. Smooth out your breathing. And let's wake up your physical body a little further. Rub your palms together. We're going to pat ourselves down. So if you're new to this, we're literally going to sort of smack ourselves down from our feet to our head. The idea is to bring some circulation to your body. Also start to wake up some of the meridian tissue and energy channels that run through that tissue. So palms warm, start with your right foot, slap yourself down, and as much of your surface area as you can. Go up your right side, and go up your arm. The left hand slaps up your right arm. As much of your back as you can. Back and side of your head. And pause for a moment between sides, feel the difference. And now wake up your left side. Finished, take a moment with your eyes closed. Feel your circuitry awakened. And we'll use that awakened circuitry to explore some movement, some muscular activity, some joint articulations. Start at your wrists, make fists with your hands, okay, and then you'll extend and flex through your wrists. Don't die. Okay, I'm going to keep it a little bit broad today, a little less specific. Supinate your forearms. If you were here yesterday, we did cars with Alex, which were very isolated activities, require a lot of focus, effort. Really great idea to do those, but today we're just going to move a little more generally. So circles through your wrists. If you missed the session yesterday with Alex, I'm sending out all these sessions to my list, so you can go to the link in my bio and sign up. I'll email you recordings of these you can practice along with, or get if you missed the day. Okay. And then extend through your fingers like this. You're going to make fists, and then extend. Fists, extend. Finally, with your hands, extend your fingers, make like sort of blades with your hands, and then you're just gonna, it's called deviation of the wrist. You'll go up and down. Like you were shaking someone's hand just from your wrist. Then supinate your forearms, so your palms will face up. You'll flex your elbows, and then pronate, turn your palms forward, and extend. So supinate, flex, pronate, extend. Okay, then we'll reverse that. Keep the pronation, palms down. Flex your elbows, supinate, extend. Pronate, flex, supinate, extend. Make fists. Keep your thumbs extended. Bring your arms out to the side. And then turn your palms to face down. Bend your elbows, and you'll take circles with your elbows. So as I circle, my palm faces back as long as I can. Then it turns to face up. And then it turns to face down. So I'm supinating and pronating my elbows and forearms as I bend and extend my elbow joint. Okay, keep your arms out to the side, extend through your fingers. Okay, bring your palms together, fingertips together rather. And as you exhale, push your hands forward, round your upper back. As you inhale, dive, reach your arms back, lift your chest. So exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And lower your arms. Let's do some movements for your shoulder blades. So roll your shoulders in slight opposition. So right shoulder rolls up, then left shoulder rolls up. Okay, as the shoulder blade goes up, squeeze it in, pull it down, and then broaden it forward. And then you can go in the other direction. And relax. Now let's just do scapular elevation. Pull your left, and depression. Pull your left shoulder down, lift your right shoulder up, and switch. 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 Relax your shoulders, move into your head and your neck. We'll begin with flexion extension. Bring your chin to your sternum, and then head back, forward, back, forward, back. And come to neutral. Do lateral flexion. Lean your ear to the right, to the left, right, left, right. And then we'll practice rotation. Come to the center. With your eyes, look to the right and to the left. So we explored this with Sarah a bit a few days ago. We used kind of the movement of our eyes to inform then movement into our thorax and our spine, our lumbar spine. For now, see if you can just move in your cervical spine. So just your neck moves. And come to center, we'll put that together, right? So you're gonna begin with a lateral bend to the right. Now look up towards the ceiling, turn your gaze up. Now look down towards your left foot, so your head moves over to the left. Then look up, and then down to the right. Look up, down to the left. Look up, and down, up, down. Now reverse it. Okay, so you're gonna, right now I'm looking down towards my right foot. I'm gonna tilt my head back, look up towards the ceiling, and then rotate, look down towards my left foot. Then tilt my head back, look up towards the ceiling, rotate, look down towards my right foot. So reverse figure 8. And back to center. Finally, we'll do protraction and retraction. Press your face forward, and then pull your face back. Go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Come forward halfway, and slide your skull to the right. Try to do that without moving your whole spine, so just your neck moves. Sometimes making fists with your arms can help stabilize. In fact, pressing through your legs, toning through your abdomen, your glutes, and then slide your head to the left. So right, left, right, left. You can add that into the protraction. Go in a circle forward, to the side and back. Get some interesting sound effects in your neck and skull as you move in this way. Sort of shearing force on your spine. Don't be afraid by that word, shearing. It's just a biomechanical force, not a bad thing. Are we on time? Okay. Yes, all these lives are saved and mailed out. Okay. All right, so let's move into our thorax. Take your hands towards your side body like this, and you're going to press your ribs over to the right. So it's as if I'm pushing with my left hand and my ribs slide to the right. Okay. And then I'll press my ribs over to the left. To the right, and to the left. And you don't obviously need your hands here, you can make fists, okay, and shift. And then we can add in some of the flexion and extension. So from the right, press your chest forward like you're pulling back with your arms. Slide to the left, and as if you were pushing with your arms, go back. So you pull to come forward into the right, you push to go back into the left. And when your arms sort of smooth out that movement, it becomes, I think this was called Cabbage Patch. Other direction. Just a little bit more work in your shoulders. Okay, so bring your arms down by your side. And the goal here when we move through these is not to kind of pump your chest forward or tilt your hips back, or rather to stay somewhat neutral. Okay, so with my palms facing back, I'm gonna press both arms back. At a certain point, I'll run out of space, so then I'll externally rotate and spin my palms more forward, and then continue. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way up, and then press down, like I'm doing the breaststroke. Back. Is this breaststroke? Freestyle? I'm not a swimmer. Or butterfly, it's a butterfly. Then press down. And hold your spine still and really work the movement in your arm bone and that rotation in your shoulder blade. Maybe some really nice little micro adjustments that happen in your upper back. Let's go in the other direction. So arms up, palms face forward. And then spin your palms to face the side and press back. As you get all the way back, your hands will reach, or rather your palms will face the back of the room. Okay, and then turn your palms forward, scoop up, spin, and press back. One more movement in your spine. Kind of take your hands towards your abdomen here. And we'll begin by flexing our upper back. So take a slightly wider stance, in fact, just so your hips and your legs are stable. And round your spine like you were doing a crunch. And you're gonna rotate your spine to the right. We did these yesterday with Alex. And then with your spine rotated, now, like we did with your neck, you're gonna lean your right shoulder back, turn your chest more towards the ceiling, and slide over to the left. Then rotate your chest towards the floor, and come forward. Again, in that direction. To the right, rotate, go back. To the left, rotate, and come forward. Now to the left, rotate, back into the right, rotate, and come forward. Again, to the left, rotate right, turn your chest up, lean back, and to the right, rotate down, come forward, and come up. Okay, bring your feet a little bit closer in, about hips width apart. Let's take your pelvis and tip it forward. So anterior tip takes your tailbone back, and then tuck under, so posterior tuck. We'll tilt and tuck, tilt and tuck, tilt and tuck. And then come to neutral. From a neutral position, bend your left knee and tip your pelvis so your right hip lifts, and then left hip. Go right, left, right, left, right, left. And try to put the movements together. Tuck, go forward, to the right, back, to the left. Tuck, to the right, back, to the left. The movements can be smaller or slightly larger. Let's reverse, go in the other direction. And then just a few more. Come back to neutral. Let's move into your hip joint. So ground down through your left leg like we practiced in the breathing exercises. Use the exhale to push down into your left leg so you can lift your right leg up. We're going to go into an internal rotation, so turn your right hip in, and then an external rotation, turn your right hip out, lift your foot up. Go internal, external, internal, external, and you kind of smooth that out like you're gliding your knee side to side. Your foot sort of trails behind the movement. And set that down, left side, lift up, press down through your right leg, go internal, go external, internal, external, and glide through those movements side to side. Set that down. Once more, lift your right leg up. This time go external. And as you open your right knee to the right, let your pelvis follow a bit. Then go internal, kick your right heel back behind you. And then come back to come back forward. Take your right knee up, out to the side. Kick your heel back. And then turn your leg in and come back forward. So we're not really going so far into extension. Taking this big circle with your leg. And then reverse. Take your right leg back, wrap your knee forward, come forward, kick back, bend, wrap forward. One more time. And set it down. Second set. So left leg lifts up. Open your left leg to the left. Keep turning to the left. And then turn your thigh forward, kick back through your heel. Now turn your thigh in so your foot points forward, bend your knee and come back up. A big circle with your hip. And then other direction, go back and wrap around. And set it down. All right, two more. So knees, bring your feet together. You're gonna bend your knees forward, so it's a stretch for your ankles. Then turn your knees to the right, straighten your knees, turn towards the left and bend. So you're taking this circular movement. Your knees don't have to lock all the way out when you straighten them. In fact, you'll probably get a little more movement if you keep them slightly bent. Take this circular movement in your ankles and knees, and then go in the other direction. And then finally for your feet, you can lift your right heel up, stretch the sole of your right foot, and switch. So similar to what we did in your pelvis, at this time instead of moving your hips, let your whole body kind of go up and down. Stretch the soles of your feet. And standing on your left foot, take your right foot forward. Do 5 circles in one direction. And switch directions. Switch sides. Switch directions. And set both of your feet down. Let's finish as we started with one final collective round of breath. Bend your knees a bit as you inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, push down and stand tall. Ground yourself. Very good. All right, I'm going to invite Justin on. He's going to lead us through our meditation practice. There he is. See, Justin, did you already request to go live with me? Is it back here somewhere?
Hello.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love that I was up moving my knees and my
Move those knees.
Yeah, of course, right when we started there's a lawnmower that's going outside like the second we started. Can you hear it or is it all good? Are we okay? Okay, great. Okay, good.
If it comes up, it's just
A part of the practice.
Free sound vibration to help us
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited to be here with you, Rocky. Thank you so much for having me here and doing these practices every morning. It's such a gift to so many people, to so many people. And I see everybody in here just loving it. So today, what I want to do is just to kind of continue on to take us kind of into our inner bodies in a way and to ground ourselves. And before I start, Rocky, is there anything that you want to say or share or do, or do you want me to just go?
Just that I adore you, and it's like the melanin on my screen is making me happy right now.
Yeah. Let there be melanin.
And if we had just a few minutes afterwards, I'd love just for people to know where they can find more about you. But we talked a bit already today about Dharma's concept of grounding and what we do to help sustain and nourish ourselves so that we can find our path. So I think this is a good segue.
Beautiful. Okay, cool, amazing. This is perfect because Dharma is really exactly what this is all about, especially with the practice that I'm going to walk you through today. Because really what I believe is that my true deepest belief is that like all of these practices that we do, yoga, self-reflection, journaling, writing, meditation, any of these things that we do, if we're not taking them to take action in our lives, then what the fuck is the point? Quite literally. Like if we're not doing them to actually do something in our lives for ourselves, for the world, for our family, for each other, for the planet, I think one of the biggest disservices that's happened in the wellness space over, the coming of it in the Western world is the fact that so much of it has been focused on let me just sit and let me just be here and let me send loving kindness. And while none of that is bad, right? While we need to continue doing all of that, I think what most traditions can agree upon across the board is that all of these practices are about awareness. All of the practices are about awareness, and we can agree upon that across traditions. And right now, if we're really being aware, what awareness is calling us to do is to get our asses up off of our meditation cushions and take action. And take action in our lives, for our families, for our communities, for the planet, and for one another, and especially for those of us who can't take action for ourselves. And so what I want to invite us into today is a little bit of a different meditation practice. This practice is called freedom meditation. This is the style of meditation that I teach in my book. And ultimately, I'm going to guide you through an experience where I'm going to invite you to imagine a future version of yourself. A version of yourself that's living beyond your frying pan of possibilities. And the reason I say frying pan is one of my good friends and old business partner of mine, Karen Moses, she used to always tell this story that I'm going to tell you guys right now. She said, okay, so there's this fisherman and he's at this river, and this river is known to have the biggest fish in the whole world, right? And so everybody tries to travel far to go to this river to get the biggest fish they can get. And so this older fisherman is there and he's fishing, and this young fisherman is watching him. And the old fisherman, what he does is he throws his fishing pole out, he gets his fish, he sees it, it's this huge fish. So I'll grab my slippers as the fish. Huge fish, right? He looks at the fish, he looks, and he throws it back in the water. And the young fisherman's like, that was a huge fucking fish. Why is he throwing it back in the water? So he just stays watching him. Does it again. Even bigger fish, right? So now we have like a bigger fish he catches. He looks at it, throws it back in the water. And the young fisherman's like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's catching these huge fish. Why is he throwing in the water? He does it again. Throws it out. Big fish. Now we have the bigger fish. Okay? And his fish is like the biggest fish he's ever seen. Throws it back in the water. And finally, the young fisherman goes up to him and says, you're catching all these fish, and they're like the biggest fish ever. That's what everyone's here for. Why do you keep throwing them back into the river? And the old fisherman goes, well, I'm looking at these fish, and they're all bigger than my frying pan. So I have to throw it back so I can catch one that's small enough to fit in my frying pan. Now, we know how ridiculous that sounds, right? Like, all you would have to do is cut up the fish or put it in a different configuration or get a bigger frying pan or anything like that. And it sounds so silly and so simple, but we do this with our dreams. We do this with our dreams all the time. That dream that I have, nope, it's not for me. It's better for somebody else. It's not for me because I'm too fat, or I'm too old, or I'm too ugly, or I'm too gay, or I waited too long, or I should have done it before I had kids, or I don't have enough money for that. These are all the things that define our frying pan, right? And so we pick up and we get glimpses of our Dharma all the time. We get glimpses of it all the time. And then we go, not for me. And I think one of the things that's so incredible about this time that we're in right now, among not discarding or any of the pain and the trauma and the discomfort that's coming with this time. But one of the things that's really interesting about this moment is all those secure jobs, all those things we did for stability, all those plans that we made because we ignored our real dream, but we decided to do this thing because it was the safer thing to do. How safe's all that shit now? Right? All those things that we did for security, how secure is it now? Right? And so this is a moment where we get to actually wake up into our Dharma, where we get to wake up into what our life purpose is. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be about work. It could be about your relationships or your family or any part of your life where you want to bring more purpose and passion. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to guide you guys through a meditation experience that'll be like 10 minutes long or so. And we're going to go and I'm going to ask you to imagine a future version of yourself that is living beyond your frying pan, that's living the life of your dreams, that's living bigger than you could imagine possible. And if it feels impossible to you, if it feels silly, if it feels like this doesn't make any sense, good. That means you're doing it right. Because listen, here's the deal. If you can't think beyond your current circumstances, you'll never be able to live beyond your current circumstances. And if you're somebody who's grown up with trauma or pain or oppression or anything, and we all have, we have to think beyond that frying pan so that we can get there. Our brains have to get there first. So when we do this experience, it's
You
not
better tell
about
him,
stop.
Justin.
Yeah, this is morning. And so,
Tell him on Friday morning.
oh, I see friends in here. Hello, hello, hello. So
Tell them.
I'm telling them. So
Okay.
anyway, here's the thing. When we go through this, you may have different images kind of shuffle in front of your mind. And the point of this meditation is not to get your mind to stop thinking, okay? The point of this meditation is to help you feel more alive. So you might have a bunch of different images shuffling around. Don't stress. You can't do it wrong. Whatever shows up is what's meant to show up. If it's incomplete, it's okay. And the last thing that I'll say before we go in is if you're somebody who has trouble visualizing, like with images, remember that you can imagine things using different senses. So as I'm saying, imagine yourself, you may see it as a picture, or if I say imagine yourself, you may feel it as senses in your body, or you may hear something, or you may feel an emotional change. So you may not see it, and you may hear shit like the blower that's happening outside of my front door right now. Is it okay? Can you still hear me okay while this is happening? Okay, this is hilarious. And we roll with life. And as there are sounds and things happening around you today, just welcome them in to this practice as I'm welcoming in the leaf blower. So let's go ahead and get into the practice. So what I'd like you to do is get really comfortable. And what I mean by comfortable is not like church comfortable or not like yoga comfortable where like you have to sit really straight with your spine super strong and your back super straight and your legs crossed. If you're comfortable there, do that. Hey, Wesley, if you're comfortable there, do that. But otherwise, get like extra comfortable, like lay back, sit back. There's nothing that you need to see during this process. All you're going to need to do is hear. So just like chill out. Because if your body's not comfortable, your brain won't be able to relax. And then what I'd like you to do is start actually with your eyes open and look at something straight out in front of you. So it could be this screen, it could be the ceiling, it could be something in your room, but just focus your eyes on something straight in front of you. And now keeping your eyes focused on this point, try not to move your eyes at all. Take a deep breath in and exhale, keeping your eyes focused there, keep them open. And now while keeping your eyes focused on this one point, without moving them, notice if you can start to expand your peripheral awareness. So notice how far to the right of you you can see without moving your eyes, how far to the left of you you can see without moving your eyes, how far above and below you you can see without moving your eyes. And just let it expand in all directions, taking in every light and color that you can without moving your eyes. And knowing that this that we're doing with our eyes is exactly what we want to do with our minds during meditation. We focus on a point, a mantra, a vision, a something, but we also welcome in the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and sensations that are coming up in our bodies and in our minds. So on the count of 3, take a deep breath in and exhale, allow your eyes to gently shut if you feel comfortable doing so. Now place both hands over your heart, one hand over the other. And I want you to take one more breath in with me, inhaling into your heart and exhaling, letting it go. And now I want you to imagine yourself living the life of your dreams, a future version of yourself, some version of you at any point forward. Just trust what arises is what you need to see. Living the life of your dreams. What are you doing in this vision that helps you indicate, that helps you know that you are indeed living the life of your dreams? If you have some different images shuffling in front of you, or they're incomplete, that's all good. Whatever arises is whatever you're supposed to see. See if you can land on one. And then notice in this vision, are you indoor or are you outdoor? Again, if you don't see it clearly, that's fine. Notice what you feel, maybe what you hear, what you sense, what you taste, what you smell in this vision. So indoor, outdoor. What color are you wearing in the vision? What color are your shoes, or are you barefoot? Is there anybody else there with you in the vision? What else do you see in this vision to help give it some more detail? Any colors, anything in your environment, any textures, any people? And again, what are you doing in this vision that indicates to you that you're living the life of your dreams? What's happening? And lastly, how do you feel in that vision? When you look at that future version of you, what do they feel like? What energy is moving through them? How does it feel to be living the life of your dreams? And if your mind is wandering, it's okay, it's normal. Just soften 5% and come back to the vision. And now I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to answer this question with 1, 2, or 3 words. 1, 2, or 3 words. As you look at this future version of you in your vision, living the life of your dreams, what energy do you need to cultivate in your life now, today, to become closer to being that person you see in your vision? What energy do you need to cultivate in your life now, today, to become closer to being that person you see? Trust what comes up. 1 word, 2 words, 3 words. And take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. And if you didn't get a word, that's okay. But if you have a word, I want you to keep this silent, still space for a moment. And just go into the chat box and type in whatever words came for you, and open your eyes and just type into the chat box whatever came up for you. And then I'll tell you what we're going to do next with this. But in the meantime, Rocky, I'd love, while people are chatting and typing in, what your experience was like doing that.
It was lovely. Do you want me to tell you what I saw myself doing, or should I?
Whatever you want to share. Whatever you want to share.
I'll just say that the word that came up for me, actually, even before you asked, was, I'm seeing some of the words that are showing.
Yeah.
Was fun.
Fun.
Play, and trust.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm this beautiful, Rocky. Fun, play, and trust. And what's happening here, I love this right now. We have freedom, forgiveness, yoga with Electra, strength, love, freedom, happiness, positive, confidence, desapego, I don't know what that means, but it's something. Healthy boundaries, to be active, Adam, abundant service, Justin, determination, more freedom, initiative, confidence, self-confidence, positive, focus, productive, positive, loving, strength, motivation, connection, confidence, trust, courage, freedom, active and serenity, trust, presence, and freedom. So look, here's the deal. What you just created is something that I call in my book, this is my book, Stay Woke, that guides you. This is a quick version of your unique energy signature, which is also known as a mantra. A mantra. And what you just created was your own personal, unique mantra that's unique to you. And here's the thing. What I really believe that the world is coming to right now, thank you, that means attachment, desapego, detachment, perfect. So one of the things that the world is coming to right now, and I think that we're learning, is that we have the agency within us to know what we need to take us on the next level of our journey and towards our Dharma. What's happening, and we're seeing what's happening with all the gurus of the world, right? The real point of meditation is to realize the guru's within you. And we've all been told that we have the answers within, but so few of us ever actually rely on our own agency to know how to get within. And I want you to realize how powerful what we just did was in just those few minutes. I said, I want you to imagine a future version of yourself, a version of you that's living beyond your possibilities, that's living in your Dharma, this ideal highest version of yourself. And then I said, okay, now here's you. What's the gap? What's the energy that's creating the gap? And that is what we need to fill up. And notice, I didn't ask you, what do you need to do? So many of us are saying, I need to do this, I need to do this. And this is how we end up so busy and doing so much shit, but stuck in the same spots, in the same routines, in the same relationships, same habits, same shit, different pants, different day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's because
Same
what
frying
has
pan.
to change, yes, exactly, same frying pan. And that's because what has to change is who you are being. Because what's differentiating the version of you that you want to be and the version of you that you are now is who you are, not just what you're doing. And then what you do comes from who you're being. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use these words as a mantra. And there are many ways. I obviously dive into it deeply in the book, but there are many ways. But for those of you guys who aren't familiar with how to use that, just a simple way is to sit, close your eyes, and just repeat the words in rhythm with your breath. So if your words like Rocky's were fun and play, you would inhale fun and exhale play. And inhale fun and exhale play. And maybe it makes you move. And maybe those words turn into a vision, or maybe they turn into a feeling in your body, or maybe they make you smile, or maybe they bring up all the things in your life that are keeping you from having fun and having play, so that you can know what you need to take action on in your life to create more of that. And so the last thing that I'll say is when you meditate and when you bring up these mantras, if it's confidence or if it's to be active, meditation is not about relaxing. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. It is not a relaxation practice. It can feel relaxing. It can feel peaceful sometimes. Meditation is not about relaxing. Meditation is about becoming more alive, becoming more connected to your passions, more connected to your emotions, more connected to your feelings. And people think meditation is supposed to make you feel good. No, meditation is supposed to make you feel, period. And so sometimes that means we have to feel the things that are stopping us from getting that new frying pan. And so when you say, I want confidence, what you're going to see is, yeah, the things in your life where you want more confidence, but also the things in your life that are stopping you from feeling confidence. And they're coming up not to drag you down, but so that you can heal. So I just bless you all and honor you. And I just invite you as a challenge now, every morning, if you can just bring up your words and just say, I am, whatever that is, and invite that into your life. I am play, I am fun, I am confidence, or just the words confidence, fun, play, joy, freedom, all those beautiful things, detachment, things that you guys had. Welcome them in, and then know that you have the power to create the life of your dreams. So that's what I have for you today.
Justin, thank you so much. What an incredible gift. And like,
you.
shout out to everyone joining. Like, my heart is full. I see both of our moms are on the call.
Our moms are both here. Isn't that great?
Mamas. So folks can go obviously to your Instagram to learn more about you and what you do. I already showed them your book earlier, so definitely
thank you.
grab a copy of his book. It's absolutely amazing and so exquisitely well made as well. Like, I'm just so proud of you for I know everything that you put into that. I know what the process was like for you. So like,
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love you. And I
for
want to make sure people know too, right now, Amazon, because of what's happening, has a little bit of a delay with shipping. It usually doesn't take as long as they say, but the book's on Audible. I'm reading it. So you can do the audiobook. I read the whole thing. And also, like, local booksellers are really having a really hard time right now
Yeah.
in your communities because a lot of them are going out of business. And so if you have a local bookstore, they actually usually can get it faster to you than Amazon. And it's called Stay Woke, a meditation guide for the rest of us. So if you can type Stay Woke in there for me so people see it. And my name's Justin Michael Williams. So I love you guys. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Justin. I'm typing in Stay Woke. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I will be, as per usual, sending out a recording, the link to the recording of this. So if you want to be able to do this meditation with Justin again and again and again, you can go to the link in my bio, and I'll be emailing out these recordings to you guys in the coming days and weeks. So again, thank you so much, Justin. I love you.
Rocky, thank you for doing this every morning. This is such a gift to everyone. Your energy is a gift. Your light is a gift. Your knowledge is a gift. We're like so grateful for you for the space that you're creating. I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. We're all in this together, and gift for gift for same. All right. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.